Hello there, friends. My name is Huesto Enrico, sometimes called Host Eric by gringos. And, are you not asleep? I was lying in bed and I realized, hey, there's a problem here. I'm not asleep, but I'm in bed anyway. I've been in bed for quite a while. I'm still not asleep. Now I have to pee again. Am I just lying to myself about this whole sleep thing? That's what I had to ask. I had to have a serious conversation with myself. I said, Eric, are you lying to yourself right now when you say you're going to go to sleep? And the answer was, maybe. Maybe I was lying to myself. Maybe I was just wrong. Maybe I was right, but just had the hour wrong. Well, I am going to go to sleep, but just 5 minutes from now. I'm going to just abruptly fall asleep. Narcolepsy style. I want to go to sleep like narcoleptics go to sleep. Just bam, I'm asleep. It's the best kind of sleep. Instant sleep. It's like the cup of noodles of SI. You know. And if you don't like cup of noodles, what's wrong with you? Do you hate America too? Nothing more American than cup of noodles. What do you mean that's not American? Well, you better freaking bail over there and come over here. Because let me tell you something, I don't care how many of you are at CJ's. I don't care how much conversation there is going on, miggity meow, doesn't matter. CJ just will fail to provide enough flatulence, absurdity, cup of noodles. I'm giving free cup of noodles out over here. Okay? So CJ has no chance against that. Hi, Andre. CJ is charging for cup of noodles. You know, I'm giving them out for free. So that's why obviously people are going to pick over here instead. Who can pass up a free cup of noodles? Anyway, quick question for you, Andre, and for you, Boba Fett. Are you asleep right now? Or are you not asleep right now? If you're not asleep right now, here's why. It's because of your awakenedness. I've diagnosed your problem. Your sleep disorder boils down to excessive awakenedness. Ali Shiva, according to Andre, you're wrong. This is not a dream. You are awake. Boba Fett, however, is in deep REM sleep, eyes fluttering, brainwaves all over the place. If that were the case, Boba Fett, I wouldn't be nearly this lucid. Listen, your imagination can create this ball of wonder called real Host Eric. So you know it's not a dream. Even the most intuitive subconscious in the world can't generate this magic. It's like magic. Oh, you smoke the good stuff. Okay, well then maybe. That's fine then. You've been trying to figure out your type, huh? Have you considered I? That's the Mexican type. I. How about E? That's a little pig type. Your nerve pain. Have you considered purchasing some nerve tonic? You know, in the old days, they used to sell a nerve tonic. Not so much anymore. Hey, yo, just wake up. Or is that a command, or are you informing me that you just woke up? You don't need to command me to wake up. I went to bed and I was in bed for like an hour and I was almost asleep, and then I had to get up and pee again, and I just said, it's not looking good, Eric. Not right now anyway. You have to go outside. You're gonna have to be awake for a while. Maybe pull a couple bowls. Drink some drink of some sort, like some water or something, you know. I also took 2 of these bad boys. Why? I'm going to tell you right now. A little something called excess stomach acid. Eat a couple of those antacids though, and boy, I tell you, it makes the stomach acid go away. What makes it do? You just drank a drink of root beer? Well, I just drank a drink of caramel coffee flavored water, which is kind of weird, but not bad really. Somewhere between meh and very good. Meh and very good. Somewhere in here. So I'm not great. I'm not terrible. I'm feeling a little better. Well, that's because melatonin's not a real drug, Andre. Yes, it's smooth caramel and coffee flavors. It's actually not bad. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's one of those things that it's like a discontinued product that my dad sees on sale at the supermarket. They're like trying to get rid of the last batches of it they have, and so he'll pick up like, well, these were on sale for 99 cents. It's 12 packs, so I got 12 of them. Melatonin, does it make you lazy? It doesn't really do anything to me. But you know, it really depends on my meow. Is a hot dog a sandwich to me? I would say that on some technical level, I suppose a hot dog qualifies as a sandwich, but I would never actually call it one. And I would think somebody who called a hot dog a sandwich was strange, unless they were making a hot dog sandwich. You can make a hot dog sandwich, you know. You can slice up your hot dogs, put them between 2 pieces of bread, and then you got yourself a hot dog sandwich. But if you just call a regular hot dog in a bun a sandwich, well, you are just abusing the shit out of the word sandwich is what you're doing. And if you ask me, the word sandwich has already endured enough abuse. There, I burned that for you so it doesn't smell. I consider it like that. No, Elishiva. Torta is a Mexican word. We're talking about sandwiches, okay? Sandwiches, America. Well, I really felt like I lost all my Los Angeles cred when I went to the burrito store the other day. I just had this sudden brain failure, and I couldn't remember what pork was called in Mexican. I'm like, they're like, okay, what kind do you want? And I knew I wanted carnitas, but I just drew a blank on the word carnitas. And I'm like, pork? What do you call that pork stuff? And the guy's like, carnitas. I'm like, yeah, that's what I want. So I felt pretty gringo-y in that moment. Because I'm from Los Angeles. I mean, we have a lot of Mexicans around, you know. No, but that's a good choice as well, Post-Tape. It's a good guess as well. Sometimes I still wake up angry at Under Sheriff Barrett and Tracy Beverlin. You know, I will. No, lingua is gross. Don't let the Mexicans fool you, people. Lingua means tongue. Ew. Nobody eats tongue, okay? That's not the part of the cow that we eat. Lingua. It's actually not that bad. I've had it plenty of times. I'm just playing, you know, fussy American. Yeah, lingua's actually pretty good. I don't mind the lingua. I like carnitas. I like carne asada. I won't get any kind of tripe thing though. No, I don't want any menudo. You can just take your menudo and shove it up your Mexican ass, because I don't want to eat tripe. Okay? Yes, sure. Sure, Mexicans, sure. You cook that particular cut of meat better than most people do? Sure. But the point is, don't cook it at all. Don't cook butthole. You know? It's gross. Don't cook the gross parts. Rule number 1. Alright? God. When are all the various cultures of the world going to listen to me? Well, what's wrong with their cuisine? I mean, I agree with you though. Pozole is great. Menudo is good if it didn't have fucking tripe in it, you know? Here's the thing. When I used to be a drunk, there is some magic to menudo as a hangover cure. It is kind of magically so. So, even though it's disgusting, if you are hungover, menudo will still pickles are good too, sure. But, you know, menudo, like, when you wake up in the morning in Mexico after having, like, having had a Mexican night, you know, one of those nights where the waiter comes and goes like this with your head and makes you drink the thing. Yeah, one of those kind of Mexican nights where they shake your head back and forth as they're forcing tequila down your throat. And you wake up the next morning and you eat menudo, you go, okay, I get it. Of course, you got to have like a beer, a clamato and beer with it as well, just to go full blast Mexico. And you're like, okay, now I'm ready for siesta. I'll probably be ready to party again after this. So that's the whole purpose. That's why they invented menudo, I think. Clamato is disgusting, but when in Mexico, do as the Mexicans, you know. Yeah, you and me both, Taylor, we think about revenge a lot. When I get mad at somebody, I have little revenge fantasies. I've got a list of people that I'm mad at. It includes Tracy Beverland, Under Sheriff Barrett, Rachel's mom, Rachel's brother. People who avoid accountability. That's what I don't like. I don't like when people get away from me and don't get yelled at by me. Yeah, tomato drinks in general are no bueno, although, Flow State, are you really going to turn down a nice spicy Bloody Mary at the right time? I don't think so. I don't think you're going to turn that down. It was made just right. It's the right moment for a Bloody Mary. Are you really going to turn that down? CVS was amazing this month. They were right on time. They were ahead of schedule as far as I was concerned. It's like I called it in on Tuesday, I think. No, Clamato is not yum yum. Clamato is nasty. Chamoy is delicious. That's a totally different thing, okay? Chamoy is a Belgian beer. And had nothing to do with Clamato. I want to shame them in front of a camera. You know? I want them to have to sit there and take it. Horchata's kind of okay. You get kind of sick of it pretty quick, though. I'd rather have Orange Bang than Horchata. They require the same kind of machines to make it. Yeah, well, there is that game, Oliver. But that assumes a lot of FE. Caring on the other person's part, too. Yeah, horchata's rice milk, I think. It sounds gross, and it kind of is gross, but it's kind of okay. Well, you gotta balance the books. You gotta balance the books somehow. When the books remain unbalanced, then you continue. If you're Eric anyway, you continue to periodically wake up mad at people. Which includes also another person on that list is my ex-boss, Laura Lynn. She needs a good round shaming, I can tell you that. And those things need to be rectified with public accountability. Well, that's because you're not fundamentally about talking first and foremost. Shaming is the punching of words, okay? Shaming is the tire slashing of words. Well, that may be true, Taylor, but I'm not asserting the primacy of my frame of reference, merely that it is my frame of reference. I mean, like when it comes to foreign policy right now, I bet, Taylor, you and I are on exactly the same page about what the United States should be doing. And it's not talking. If I backstack, people feel less shame generally? I don't think so. I think that, well, I mean, we should have militarily struck Russia as soon as they hit Ukraine. sanctions. Sanctions are just a fancy word for bending over and raising your tail in the air. No, I mean, I don't think I don't agree with you, Boba Fett. I'm saying, but my point is, he's not justified. So, responsive violence is, he's forfeit his right to not be responsibly attacked. So, if he then wants to escalate, I mean, he's guaranteeing his own demise as well, right? The reality of mutually assured destruction doesn't change when America escalates conventionally. This goes back to before then, Boba Fett. Remember the origins, the Minsk Protocols. Well, whatever. I don't want to talk about it. It's depressing. It increases my meow. It increases my meow by 6%. No Protocols of Zion. The Minsk Protocols, which was the deal we made with Ukraine to take over their nuclear weapons after Glasnost and the separation of some of the Eastern Bloc countries into independent states. Ay. Why is pissing in the sink depressing? How is that depressing? That doesn't feel depressing to me. Pissing on your mom seems depressing. Oh, I don't pee in the same sink where I brush my teeth in. I have different sinks for those things. I pee in this sink, but we brush our teeth in the bathroom inside. Yeah, pretty fancy, huh? We got a pee sink and we got a hygiene sink. I know, we're living large. We are living large. Yeah, exactly. Oliver Linehan is right. Linehan is right. You can tell who's weak, you know? That's one thing that Putin's probably pretty good at, is ascertaining who's weak and who's not going to do shit. Hi, darling. How's my squarling parling? And we all gratefully are splattered in its glory, Flow State. We're all gratefully splattered in your uriny majesty. So anyway, tomorrow morning I've got to take my dad downtown to Hollywood to get an eye surgery early in the morning. So, or at the front row of a Gallagher show. Only less chunky. Andre says he pees like an ENTJ. I wonder what that means. Sitting in the front row at an ICP concert, that's an Insane Clown Posse concert. Spraying people with Faygo. ENTJs schedule their pee. That wouldn't shock me. Yeah, Oliver Linehan, you're taking the words right out of my butthole. You get silly when you're tired, and you're tired right now. Well, that's nice. Silly flow state is nice. I get silly usually, whether I'm tired, awake, somewhere in between. The year was 2008. Okay, I'm gonna refill my coffee here. I've got actual coffee. I've also got coffee flavored water. When my coffee's empty, everything looks sad and blue. Then I go and refill up my cup. How many shakes do ENTJs do after peeing? I don't know. Probably just 2. I'm what's known as a slow pee slobodan. Takes me quite a while to finish peeing, you know. You know, my parents named me after Slobodan Milosevic. Well, you know, opinions are like the ether. Everybody's got one. I mean, you know, it's a sign that you're doing something right when people are talking about you. But I just wish I hadn't talked to him directly about it, really. Like, you know, he called me, and I generally like him and respect him, so I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see what he wants to talk about. I'll meet him on the online real quick. It wasn't the conversation I expected, really. I mean, I didn't really know what to expect, but I guess it wasn't a conversation that made me feel particularly good. Peter didn't teach he needs to be humble due to his unsolicited advice. Why should I or anyone take his advice from these FE polars? I mean, I don't think they need to be humbled for it. I just think I didn't like it. I don't feel like he did anything wrong. I just didn't like it. Yeah, he is funny. I mean, he puts some really funny comments down sometimes and shit in the chat, you know. Well, I mean, but you were at least having a conversation with him about the topic, right? Whereas I didn't. It's like I didn't even know what he wanted to talk to me about. I just like, okay, yeah, I'll talk to you. You seem like an interesting person. I'll talk to you for a few minutes. I got nothing else going on right now. But then I didn't like the conversation. And one can easily enough say, well, Eric, you just didn't like hearing the harsh truth or something. Well, yeah, that's true. I didn't. You know, because of course, it's an NI truth, which is to say it's sort of true and sort of not true. It's just his advice about his advice about type police, that I should put time in and watch the channel and prepare the clips I'm going to show before we do it or whatever. But and it's like, yeah, that would probably make it better. I could make it better, but it's just depressing to hear somebody say, you know, there's really no point in doing it if you're not going to do it, blah, 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 blah. I don't know. And of course, he's knowing a lot about shit that he's not really, doesn't really have the data to know about. You know, he might see that I get a couple thousand views on the shorts, as I do as well, but I also note that it seems to be, in some sense, more valuable. I mean, not like in a money sense. It's not like I'm making any money off of YouTube. But, it makes more sense to have 700 people watch a 15-minute long video than to have 2,000 people watch a 7-second long video. You might say, well, why don't you just do both? Well, I can and try to, sort of, but, you know, I'm just one guy. It's like, everybody's got opinions about what Eric should do, but Eric has very little. Eric's not at the helm of that very often. I'm not really driving this ship per se. Shit just sort of happens. So, you know, 8 slot. People don't like having their 8 slot pushed on. Don't push on me about what to do. Don't tell me what to do. Don't tell Taylor what to say. Don't tell Oliver Linehan what's true. You know. Don't tell an INTP how they feel. People hate having their 8 slot pushed on. Don't tell an INFJ when to eat and when to go to bed. Thanks, Winston's mom. You're the best. Yeah, I guess I find it awkward to ask, or it just doesn't really occur to me. That's the spirit, Oliver. That's the SI spirit. Go Team SI. Oh, here's the answer, Miguel Hedez. Thank you for asking why you're not asleep. It's because of your wakefulness. You got what some people like to call excessive wakefulness disorder. It just doesn't usually occur to me. I'm busy chatting about stuff. I'm not busy worrying about TE shit, you know? I'm making jokes here. I don't have time for that kind of stuff. And I mean, it doesn't really even work. It's like, when I watch videos, they always say, don't forget to push like and push subscribe, and I never do. You know? Maybe that's just me, but occasionally I'll like a video if I genuinely am like, wow, I like this video a lot. Then I'll like it, I guess. Or if it's one of my friends, I'll like it. Oh, this is a shirt that my dislikes are not disabled. Are they? Are they on this video? It's possible they are on this video by accident, but it would be an accident. But for everybody on YouTube, they don't show dislikes anymore. And unless they suddenly disable dislikes for everybody, I don't know. I didn't do anything. I've always encouraged YouTube to show all the information that it'll show, you know. Turn on comments. Yes, show this. Yes, show that. There's a browser extension for it? For what? Seeing how many people dislike it? The people who make scam tutorials were in rapture when that change was announced. So the shirt. Thank you, 39. It's from a show called Blue Exorcist. And this 39 looks like the Japanese characters for the word thank you. So that's what this is about. But it's an anime shirt that I liked and I bought it. I said, hey, I like that shirt. I'm going to see if I can find it on the internet. And I looked for it and I found it and I bought it. I don't do that kind of stuff very often, but every once in a while I'll do that. When something really enamors me. I'm glad I bought this shirt. I like this shirt a lot. I say about this shirt, good job, Eric. Good job getting that shirt. So, as you may have heard earlier, if you were here at the earlier live stream, I had a moment of emotion today in which emotions that were trapped in my body all came out at once, and I had a big burst into tears thing. And it was catalyzed by... Oh, that's good, Alien60. Thank you. Appreciate that. It was catalyzed by this sad thing on TV, which wasn't even really that sad. It was just, I was watching Naked and Afraid, and the guy ate these eggs, but he empathized with the mother bird, and it, I wasn't streaming when this happened. I wasn't streaming when it happened. And I burst into tears, and I felt very sad, and I couldn't really explain. And then all of a sudden I said, I need to visit my mom. It's been a while since I visited my mom in the nursing home. So we went and visited her, and I felt better. But that's what they mean when they say emotions get stuck in your body. When you avoid dealing with important things for a long time, then eventually your FI kicks in and goes, Rah! Of course, I'm a lot more of a crybaby than Taylor is. That's why they call me Baby Pig Poop Face. Because I'm a baby, and I'm a pig, and I'm a poop face. That's why they call me that. It makes good. It's a good reason. I'm sensitive. That's why. I'm very sensitive. Hi, Jonathan Basanti. I was recapping my earlier conversation about my emotional eruption at the guy eating those eggs on that show. I don't think I'm working hard on it. I think I'm not paying enough attention to it, as habitually I always have, and then occasionally it comes to the surface and says, hey, maybe you should pay more attention to me. I'm more aware of that reality than I would be if I weren't very well versed in cognitive functions. But I don't think I'm working on my FI. I think my FI at that moment was working on me, right? Yeah, I try commercials and stuff a lot. Any kind of like underdog comeback story on ESPN, I'm just bawling by the end of it. Just, oh my god, those gutsy players, they came through in the end and they won against the overwhelming favorite. That'll really bring the waterworks, you know. Baby pig, baby pig, baby pig, poop face. Yeah. Those underdog stories, they always get me. They get me right here. They get me right here in the glimpse. When I went to visit my mom, I briefly had on PBS, which my mom always historically has liked, but they were playing this awful fucking show about this guy who in 1921 in the Deep South was still keeping a bunch of slaves, and then the feds came down, and so then he just murdered them all. It was a little too dark, so I had to change the channel. Let me put on one of those old movies. It had Kirk Douglas in it. You can tell it's Kirk Douglas because he looks so distinct, right? Okay, Taylor. Well, this was just a really depressing historical documentary on slavery, actually, but you can call that stated if you want. I mean, you call that. That's what he claimed, too. That's what the guy claimed, Bobby. He said, oh, I didn't know this was illegal. I'm just doing the best I can here. My bad. I'll try to do better. Illegal? What? Slavery's been eliminated? Are you sure? Okay, well, but Taylor, that's... Okay. I don't even want to get into it with you. I'm not in a fighty mood right now. I'm in a non-fighty mood. I'm in the mood to groove. Well, I mean, there's a difference between a sharecropper and a slave. Right? Regardless, there's still a difference between a sharecropper and a slave. Yeah, I'm slave to the rhythm of the night. I am slave to that. There's no doubt about that. So you mean grooving? I'm not saying taxes are great, Taylor. I'm not a big, hooray for taxes guy. But will you not? Can we not catastrophize everything, please? I'm not in the mood for catastrophe. Can't you see that? Can't you see that I'm not in the mood for your catastrophes? No, I'm not. I'm not in the mood for your catastrophes. Like I said, I'm in the mood to groove. if you don't like to groove to the rhythm of the night, well, I don't know what's wrong with you. Maybe you need to listen to more Hall & Oates. Well, that's true. UFOs do exist. There are unidentified flying objects. In other words, not every you guys have got me on my backpedaling here. I'm on my back foot, just trying to avoid all the blows coming in left and right. Well, you need to listen to more of it. Okay? And if you say in response to that, no can do, well, yes you can. I want you to remember something. Watch out, boy. She'll chew you up. She's a man-eater. He was talking about a shark in that song. Obscenity versus profanity versus vulgarity. What's the difference? Obscenity is porn, profanity is cursing, vulgarity is just general crassness. Yeah, that song was about a shark attack. Little known fact. There's a female shark that Daryl Hall was trying to make love to. Well, his eyes were bigger than his penis that day. Because it turned out that the shark bit him. Anyway, look at that last joke there. You wouldn't call it obscene or profane, but you might call it vulgar. If an Australian can teach a shark to walk on land and breathe air, would the sharks revolt? Well, you can put it again, Oliver Linehan, because I didn't see the first one. You removed it too quick. You bought a Silverado this evening. A truck? Wow, good for you. Now you can carry stuff in the back of your truck. Nice. A Silverado. Alishiva, don't be shitting on his Silverado with your F-150. Remember, Rams are the best Chevys ever that are built Ford tough. Hi, Aga and M. I don't like the fact that you've got an A at the end of the first name and an A at the beginning of the second name. So I can't push them together very easily. Your name should just be Aganem. That'd be better. Let's just go with that. You're going back to Chevy. Old Chevy? Yes. New Chevy? Nah. Well, what about a Pontiac Belvedere? Have you thought about getting one of those? You should have. Can carry honeys in your pickup. So this is Jeremiah Fix. I think you can carry honeys in just about any car. Former Supreme Court Justice Potter Stewart once famously said that he couldn't define what kind of material was obscene, but he knew it when he saw it. I can define it. Agamemnon? No, Agamemnon was a Greek guy. He did stuff. They wrote a play about him. It was pretty exciting. Well, that's just too many A's. You'd be too easy as a. You'd be too expensive as a Wheel of Fortune person. If you had to buy a vowel and you bought A, it would cost you $800 to buy the A's in your name. That's not acceptable. We're just going to call you Aghanim from now on, okay? That's a lot easier to say. Just get rid of that extra A in there. The density of honeys you can carry in a pickup. Do we measure honey carrying in density? Wouldn't it make more sense to merely measure it in terms of quantity of honeys? When Ali Shiva says that, she means meat per guy. Trucks are nice except for the meat per guy. In other words, if you drive a truck, you get only 12 inches of meat per guy. Whereas if you drive a smart car, you get even more than that. You get 16 inches of meat per guy. Well, you could pull a lot of honeys on a trailer with your pickup, that's true. And you know what else you could do, Flow State? Is you could pull a float that's covered in honeys. Like in the Rose Parade or something. And they're all going like this. That's how honeys act when they're on a float. Yeah, I am teeing your name. I'm teeing your name because why? Ali Shiva, we don't genital shame around here, okay? I'm sorry I brought up the subject at all. It's not acceptable. I don't like it. It's my SE8 stepping up and going, whoa there. You're caring about physicalities in a way that may hurt people's feelings. That's not okay. Well, I'm serious. You may be laughing your fucking ass off, but I'm serious. I'm as serious as a bowl of cereal who has made a series of videos about Cerebus. A houseboat. You don't want a houseboat. That sounds like a hassle plus wetness. I'm a cereal series about serious syrup syringe users who various other words like that. Take the houseboat, go off grid. What you need to do is go to the Mississippi River with your houseboat. And then you can live by just picking crawdads out of the river. You know? Crawdads from the river. Are ENTPs incapable of mature consideration of topic? To wit, 70% of what ENTPs say is a combination of sarcasm and whimsy that amounts to a total sum of no. Well, it depends on the mood, the topic. So, for me, I would say more than 70% of the time I'm serious. I mean, more than 30% of the time I'm serious. But, yeah, like right now I'm not really in the mood to talk out any serious conversation topic. Sometimes I am. Like, this is an interesting enough topic for me to sort of talk it out a little bit. My mood goes with the topic, kind of, you know? So, if I'm in a pleasant playful mood, I don't really want to discuss serious things. They're gonna drag me down into either just straight up TI or even worse, FI. You know. But on the other hand, there are some times when I do want to discuss ideas, and then I'm perfectly happy to discuss them in a great deal of. You know, there is a second one, I think, Joe Pocho. I don't think he did as well. You could try that, I suppose. Good times never seemed so good, so good, so good, so good. Touching me, hands touching hands, reaching out, touching me, touching you, touching you. Sweet Caroline, bam, bam, bam. Something never felt so good, so good, so good, so good. It's hard to get it. It comes pretty quick in there, you know. Oh. That reminds me to drink a sip of water. And to enjoy a fine American Marlboro Red cigarette. The finest cigarette in the world. Regarding serious matter, I often don't pick up the phone because it will ruin my good vibe. Root beer is pretty good. We're certainly perfectly capable of having serious conversations, and discussing a topic in full. And usually when I make videos that are for upload, I'm pretty serious about it. But like I said, it depends on my mood. In general, I want to goof around when I want to live stream. Hey, you know what? Menthol and regular are different enough, Taylor, that we can both be right on this. Okay, you can rule your menthol world. I'll rule my regular world. We don't need to have any conflict over this one. I don't feel any need to compete cigarette-wise. I don't need to defend Marlboro Reds against menthols because, of course, they're not menthols. So, you know, they're not going to be better menthols than menthols. Sure, not all EHPs hit the bong. I suspect a lot of us do. It seems to go well with existing. That's the spot where a couple of TI tool users can sort of agree to disagree, you know, and agree that their disagreement is actually agreement. It's pretty good. In your typing sessions, you describe your mechanism of testing to be more TI based or TE based. It's TI based. I mean, it's TI-SI, which means it's habituated TI approaches, which become something that could be turned into protocols for other people to follow, but fundamentally it's not me following any particular protocol. It's just me remembering, okay, what else do I have to ask, you know, when I'm not feeling particularly creative at the moment. I try to think about what I've asked before, and I just ask those questions again. I mean, it helps as well because it gives me more to compare against, right? Like, so I have a good understanding of where somebody's TI falls comparatively. Comparatively to, compared to, all the other people I've typed. Because I always ask the same kind of TI questions. No, flow state. God. Are you trying to get me in trouble with YouTube? It's methodical in a TI way. I'm trying to pin down certain things that I can place a high degree of certainty on and eliminate stuff, and then work my way down to the right type. I'm trying to get certain on one thing so I can narrow you down to two types. I mean, the question is, can a TI Dom or Aux user be bad at math? Well, I didn't like math. I was good at geometry. I was, it wasn't so much that I was bad at math as I didn't like it, and basically I didn't like the lack of framework. I didn't know it at the time. I didn't understand that's what I didn't like at the time, but that's what I didn't like. I needed framework. I need someone to say, okay, this is one among a number of different symbolic languages. We use it to linguistically represent physicalities. It's distinct from metaphysical. I need somebody to philosophize it, first, for it to be of any purpose or interest to me at all. Nobody told the right stories about it, so I never really had a chance to get interested in it. But the thing is, can a TI Dom or Aux user be bad at the kind of TI questions I ask? No. If they are, they're definitely not a TI Dom or Aux user. Math is too broad to say, really, Yeah, and it depends how it was taught, and like, I enjoyed and therefore did better at geometry than the other maths. I found algebra boring. You sure did, Felicity. You have such strange taste in women. I visited my mom today, and let me tell you, she looked happy. I guess she must have really enjoyed your visit. Hardcore lesmoning? Well, let me tell you where I think there's some hardcore lesmoning going on is in this show I've been watching called Warrior Nun. Warrior Nun is very scissory in its just general vibe, I'd say. It has a high scissoriness per minute ratio. But I like it. It's a good show. It makes me go Warrior Nun. Go Warrior Nun. Go Warrior Nun. Kick that bad guy's butt some. No, Boba Fett. Listen. Respect the lesbians, okay? Remember, there are regular lesbians. They're the kinds who scissor. And then there are gold star lesbians. Those are the kind who scissor with a penis in their mouth. Well, one of the biggest problems in the lesbian community that right now we need to raise awareness about is lesbians are extremely likely to cut each other in half during sex. And there are a lot of trips to the emergency room with partially cut in half lesbians. Why does TI have to be a mathematical thing? Is an ENTP just a more robotic ENFP? Well, that's why I said math, it depends which kind of math. So geometry is a very TI heavy kind of math. Other kinds of math can be understood either as exercises in conditionality or as exercises in executing a protocol. No, Ali Shiva, we're just talking about two different kinds of lesbians. One kind doesn't have that phallic object or penis. They're just scissoring like this, okay? They're scissoring, they're risking cutting each other in half for sexual pleasure. And then there are the gold star lesbians. I learned about those around here the other day. What do you want to know? You know, no. We're on too saucy a topic for you to post a link. That makes me nervous. It's not the case that some mathematical equations are unsolvable. It's the case that some mathematical equations are unsolved. Right? So, I mean, because they continue to be solved, though, bit by bit. Like, Meow-Meow's conjecture or whatever gets solved by some mathematician, and everyone's like, yay, we got another one. A PubMed article, huh? Okay. Is it about scissoring? Is it like scolding and lecturing somewhere? You're trying to... Alright, fine. You are now temporarily a moderator. You can post a link. X plus 3 equals X? Yeah, that one's kind of tricky. I don't know how to solve that one. Well, that doesn't mean it's an unsolvable equation. It means it's paradoxical in somehow in its structuring. In other words, there are contradictory premises in some fashion. Okay, all right, I will. Yeah. Well, like I just said, right? It's contradictory premises. No, because 3 doesn't equal 0, Aga. 0 plus 3 doesn't equal 0. I know, I thought it too, but I didn't actually say it out loud like you did. So that means I win, by the way. I bet you didn't know we were competing. We were. Well, you know, what a lot of people don't know is that there's historically a very close link between lesbians and mathematics. The first hunter-gatherers, proto-humans, when they discussed numbers, it was in order to count the number of lesbians in the tribe. This helped bring the tribe together, and that's when they began the protocol of awarding some of the lesbians gold stars. Oh, you and your fancy explanations, Oliver Linehan. Let's just go with it's contradictory because it's boring me right now. How about that? It's boring me with TI. The thing about that is, when you add lesbians into a mathematician community, you create a higher ratio of gold star lesbians than in any other context. And when you also additionally measure those lesbians in terms of IQ scores, you'll find the higher IQ scores, the more gold stars. I'm not making light of lesbians. I'm making humor of them. It's fine. I make humor of lots of things. I like to make humor. And look at that. August says, I think her answer was better as it got more attention. Lesbian with phallus in mouth equals gold star lesbian. I'm reclaiming the term, okay? I'm reclaiming the term, you see. The lesbians want it to mean like lesbians who've never had penis. But I'm reclaiming the term, making it mean something different. Explaining math is a real lady magnet? I did not know that. The only reason I'm here, Taylor, what's the only reason you're here? Oh, lesbians, I see. Well, you can tell the real lesbians because they've got scar marks up to here. Repeated surgeries they've needed after excessive scissoring accidents. Those are the real ones. The real hardcore ones. I mean, I don't think there is any genuinely mean-spirited humor. There's genuine mean-spiritedness that tries to disguise itself as humor. You know. But, I don't have any problem with anybody, you know. I don't dislike any groups. I'm not, I don't make anybody into the boogeyman. So, and, at the same time, I am, being perfectly honest about it instead of my normal absurdist self, I am a heterosexual male. So, that just means, I guess, in some ways that have nothing to do with my thoughts and ideas and everything, it makes me kind of a dick. Like, you just can't help it or something. Like, just the whole idea of wanting to just at a chick, it's in and of itself, it's barbaric, but it just is what it is, I didn't say I'm white. I am fluidly transracial. You like it when I roast the shit out of TE bullshit? Well, TV bullshit does tend to make me mad. So, did you see the Dallas Stars beat the LA Kings in Dallas or in LA? Taylor Van Amberg. You're the guy who picked both those playoff games. I should have bet those games based on your calls, Taylor. You called them both. No, I'm definitely not a white supremacist. I'm fluidly transracial, so I can't be a white supremacist. And I'd only make myself supreme one teeny fraction of the time. Yeah, that was some prescient game calling there. You called that Bengals game and you called the Rams game too. As we were watching them, I was saying, wow, look, maybe that guy's going to get them both. I was watching the Rams game. Maybe he's going to get them both. Get your own name. Okay. What's my name? Whose name am I stealing? Some other Eric? No, I couldn't have been why I deemed you NI-dom, because I didn't know at the time you were right. I didn't learn till later that you were right. That's true, Oliver Linehan. That's true. I can't deny the truth of that statement. Cat Williams is a comedian who's edgy, but who comes off as nasty and unpleasant more than charming. He just seems like a creep. Yeah, well... I'd like to think I'm a genuinely good person. And I'd like to think I'm doing my very best with truth, justice, and the American way. Which is to say, I'm very detached and try to be as honest and fair in my assessment of everything as I can. And I try to treat everybody the same. The only time I don't treat everybody the same is when I'm dating. When I'm single. Then I've got this sort of like, kind of awkward hey girl vibe some of the time, But in all other times, like right now when I'm in a relationship, I try to treat everybody the same. It's like, as long as you genuinely treat everybody the same, then you're being fair. Every individual the same. When I make fun of groups, I'm really making fun of groupism. I'm not making fun of groups. Because I think groupism is really stupid and divisive in the problem. %87.38%. %13% straight. So, for every 87 vaginas, you have 13 penises? Okay, for every 93 vaginas, you have 7 penises. Well, I gotta bet those 7 penises feel privileged. Like, hey, welcome to the Pussy Palace. Look at me. I must be special. says that penis as it arrives and sniffs out all the previous vaginas that have been there. Oh, hey, I don't smell any recent penises having been here. Nice to meet you. I tend to do a little more ESTP style humor when Taylor's here. Try to impress him, you know. Gotta try to impress Taylor. Why special is a good thing. The funny thing about special, you know what special means? I'll tell you what special means. Of a species. So it's like being able to have these conversations about abstract topics is special to humans. But we don't mean it like that when we talk it, you know? I mean, you could talk to Flow State and see if he thinks you're an ESTP, if he's willing to talk to you. I don't know. You could ask him. You could watch his channel of it and see if you identify with him. You could make sweet love to him and see how that goes. You could try anyway. I'm not sure he's going to put up with that, but you could try. That'd be fun to see happen. Make sure the camera's rolling. I don't think it's going to go that smoothly, but you could try. Forces and needs. Two ends of the meow. Boy. Isn't it unfortunate that meows have two ends? I want a hydra-headed meow. Or every time you chop off one of the meow's heads, another one grows. Two more will grow in return. His channel is ridiculous. I mean, your words, not mine. Being on the special spectrum. Well, everybody here right now, you are special. You are of the species famous people. You're here, you're talking to me. I've got my arms crossed like this. See? Okay, that's a little graphic though, Ali Shiva. That's what we call vulgar, okay? That's what we call vulgar. We should only talk about sexual intercourse as sexual intercourse. Okay? Always refer to it as sexual intercourse or rectual intercourse, please. Refer to a man's organ as the church's pipe organ. Refer to a woman's body pocket as simply her body pocket, okay? That way we can avoid this vulgar language. Because I'm a clean talker. I like to say only clean words. One of the few to make Eric say, let's cool with that stuff, please. I'm always cooling it with that stuff. Anyone else can suck on these Walgreens. Thanks, Andre. That's a good point. Sometimes I forget to tell people to suck on my Walgreens. A good point. School marm whisker tickles is a conundrum. With a stern first name like School Marm, you wouldn't expect such a whimsical last name like Whisker Tickles. Yeah, I still gotta do tight police. Fourth slot NI prediction. Suck on his Walgreens. Okay, well I didn't censor it either. I didn't remove it or anything. I just wagged a finger at you. Maybe two fingers, I don't know. I wagged two fingers, third knuckle deep at you. Oops, I'm sorry. Did I make a sexual joke? My mistake. I meant to refrain from doing so. Look, this little spot here, that's my underarm sweat. Ew. Why don't you put on antiperspirant, Eric? Because I don't like antiperspirant. Deodorant's good enough to make me not sweat anyway. You want to predict something with your fourth slot NI? I'm going to have you retroactively predicted, Taylor. Because Legends Fall, fourth slot NI, can suck on my Walgreens. Alright? Dopamine and other happy chemical. That's funny. I like the title of it. Yeah, well, he's got lots of tricks. Lots of tricks. You know, if you flash a flashlight in your eyes 3 times long, 2 times short, you can activate your hidden mind. Okay? Unpopular opinion, second slot NI is the best. That is an unpopular opinion. That's why everyone's booing at you right now. Boo, boo, they're saying. Your opinion's wrong. We don't like it. That's how people talk these days. Kids these days, they talk in such a wild vernacular. So the thing is, I am planning on going to sleep here tonight because, like I said, I got to get up early and take my dad to the hospital. You passed by a beautiful woman in the gym today and she smelled awful and that attracted you more to her? Well, that's called gross. That's called you being gross. There. Do you feel properly judged? I'm very fussy about SI stuff. I don't like grossness of any kind. Just get it away from me. Grossness makes me gag. So, I like to keep my nose out of this business entirely. I don't want to smell anything. I don't want to smell sex and candy. I just want to smell candy. Is that okay? I smell only candy, yeah. It smells so good and fruity, It doesn't smell like bodily fluids at all. Yeah, that's much better than smelling like sex and candy. It's called Eric's Proper Sexual Intercourse Instruction Book. It begins with an introduction. Forewarning. This book covers a topic that fundamentally makes no sense. You're going to discuss the insertion of something merely for the purpose of immediately removing it, only to insert it again. Repeating this pattern ad infinitum until something happens. This might seem like complete nonsense, and you are correct. It makes no sense at all. But you will find yourself periodically wanting to do it anyway. Nobody knows why. It's a mystery. Intimacy, intimacy. Oh, how I love intimacy. Oh, be intimate in touching me in a most sensual fashion. That's how you be intimate, okay? How to Overthink Something by host Eric. Well, I mean, I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. I've been thinking about it for years. Like, okay, I'm a nice guy. I love this person. I'm not normally bossy, you know? But there's this weird bossy quality. Like, that comes out of me. Like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, right? You know? But you're not really gonna get her. This is what it feels like. It's strange. It's really strange. A derogatory nobility. Um. Hmm. I don't know. Okay. I mean, that's an easy enough change to make. I mean, I guess it's easy enough to make. I probably just need to direct those things to the... I can figure that out. Karen Barron? That's a good answer, Jonathan Basanti. It's an excellent answer. That could be correct. I think that qualifies as a correct answer. Although, it's really an example of a derogatory term rather than something meaning derogatory. A pithy smithy. Except the smithy's not a nobility. Maybe something around with monarch. A shady lady. Hey, there you go. I think that's a successful answer too. A shady lady. Derogatory though. Haiti lady? I don't know. You're thinking impure thoughts? Oh no. Please purify your thoughts with the Brita Thought Purifier. It's a snarky marquee. That's a good one. That's good. Snarky Marquee is a great band name. It's not something you're going to come up with as an answer very easily because the accent pattern on the two words isn't consistent with the rhyme. Even though it still rhymes, but... yeah. I guess I want to play a couple of tunes and then try to go back to bed again. You know, it's important to go to bed, get a little sleep. There's a lot of concurrent viewers, but I know I'm gonna lose like 10 people now as soon as I bust out the guitar. Understandably, because then I'm not really engaging with you anymore. I'm just trying to play songs, and it's a whole different vibe, and I understand that. For those of you who do stick around, I appreciate you listening to playing my songs. It's kind of you. Those are pretty good numbers, though, I gotta say. Kind of gratifying. Santa Ana's from the east are blowing, driving on this mountain fire. Grant and Lana had best be going, they'd cut it down to the wire. And everywhere apocalypse hung heavy, the truck was piling up with ash. Lana got the dogs in the Chevy, and Grant counted out their petty cash. If times are ending, then time is bending. Flames rain down from the sky. While the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted, Lana stays awake to cry. 120 out but Labor Day, and that means cooking meat outdoors. Guy got distracted and fire got away. Now from Bradford to Arcadia they curse his name. Fire chased them west and down the incline until they reached the foothills below. They found a room cheap for the night online. At least now they had someplace to go. Tomorrow they'd evaluate their options now that their life had burned away. Lana's sister has a place in Laughlin. Wasn't really any more to say. If times are ending, then time is bending. Flames rain down from the sky. While the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted, Lana stays awake to cry. While the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted, Lana stays awake to cry. While the dogs knock out with Grant exhausted, Lana stays awake to cry. It's kind of a nice song. I like it, okay. $30,000 days, too many expectations, not even worth a damn. 30,000 nights, sleep off the intoxication, otherwise you won't escape the plan. I've wasted wasted half my days trying another's ways. Who can tell me my priorities? Is there anybody knows the key? 'Cause I'm tired of doing it wrong. One direction I have all along. Wait until I know. Or is that just hesitation? Clarity's no good once your chance is gone. What I need to show is a tape below my station. I'm tired of doing it wrong. I've wasted half my days trying another's ways. Who can tell me my priorities? Is there anybody knows the key? 'Cause I'm tired of doing it wrong. Yeah, I think I'm doing it wrong. Well, I think I'm doing it wrong. Doing it wrong. When I was younger, it seemed that everything gleamed. I don't know what happened to me, but I've lost that sense of urgency, and I don't think that I'll ever see it again. If you follow my lead, you'll discover I'm loster than you. And you'll wanna know the way to get back out to wherever it was you thought you knew. And tomorrow will be just like today. I'll be lost then too. It's a matter of mood as much as a matter of will. And the things I do and the direction I point to still seem a part of me, though departedly. And I wonder if I'll ever see them again. Bum-ba-dee-da-da-dee-da-dee-da, ba-ba-dee-da-da-da-doo. Bum-ba-dee-da-da-dee-da-da-da, ba-ba-dee-da-da-da-da. That's nice, like ice on a hot summer's day. Thanks, Lady Lou. Every life lived reaches a time when the road splits in two. There are times, dark times, times of despair, times when it's hard to feel good. That's when I look for my sack full of solvency and that satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Satchel of helpful goods. Every life lived reaches a time when the road comes to an end. travel all alone. And that's when I look for my sack full of solvency, and that satchel fill up with bones. Yeah, that satchel found nothing but home. Satchel of helpful goods, 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 satchel of helpful goods. That was kind of nice. Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald has a plot to get to Marjorie's tater tots. He's got a good idea for a name-changing business. Thinking now about what's it called Christmas, when they hire his firm to change that name. Gerald always thought they'd be chancing up to return to the work after rough. He'd get back to it eventually, but his visions piled up and his plans would interrupt all the work that started off so hopefully. Now his mind is back on his business, thinking of changing factless to listless. So how all the people will shout his name. And Gerald knows he understands ever more clearly now. He won't provide explanation regarding the why, the how. He'll see you and know you from inside your heart. Exciting, delighting, Gerald plays his part. Gerald still knew there's too much to do. He had dropped time in the underview. Too much to rebut, so where now and what? And too much time spent nitpicking the skew. Gerald has a thought. Gerald has a lot. Gerald has a plot to get to Marjorie's tasty spots. He's got a good idea for a name-changing business. Thinking now about what's it called Christmas, and hire his firm to change that name. Gerald has a thought. That was nice. I enjoyed playing that. It made me feel like satisfied, you know. Amelia, go from that place, take unto you the details of your kiss. Amelia, when you rise up above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then, moving sideways into space you're in, and moving along with that first grin? Amelia, can't you see, you and I will never be Amelia, yet you're still free. opportunity to leave out in the rain, Amelia. Amelia, we're watching you, fair for sure, no matter what we do. Amelia, when you rise up above, floating ahead and soaring like a dove, what will they say when they look at you then moving sideways in the space you're in, and staring sidelong with your thirsty grin? Amelia, can't you see, you and I will never be Amelia, yet you're still free, with too much opportunity to leave out in the, too much opportunity to leave out in the, too much opportunity to leave out in the rain, Amelia. Or something like that. Pretty half-assed, really. A little too small on the font size there, too. That's part of the problem. Oh, sure, Eric, make more excuses, why don't you? No, the sun was in my eyes. Oh, so he came here with her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott, despite getting caught. He got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. That's not a reason to stay around. Through the years you've both been tested. Time to move up, find higher ground. Her, and what's the big problem that you can't endure? You seem so sure it's not appropriate claiming to blame things on Scott, despite getting caught. He's got you reframing for him, straining for him, going to the gym to make yourself good enough again. Be done with him. Kind of half-assedly done. Not great. Not terrible. We need to know. We need to see. We need to bend our buttons down by our means to judge our logic to life we devisively unlike, and from which we'll rarely budge. People everywhere gather up, enemies outraged at how they miss the sign. How do they set their priorities? These foreign backstabbing entities, ensuing heartache and misery follow necessarily from their savage ways. Insulting Kirsten and Desiree, partition the rectories and call it destruction of the whole damn world. Judy shares now her limits, hoping Julie will too. Jerry shared for 4 minutes. He just can't share things like they do. Julie always thought that she should have got to when she had the chance to buy. Julie soon forgot about should have not, although she ever called. She'll die. People everywhere gather up enemies, outraged at how they missed a sign. How do they set their priorities? These foreign backstabbing entities, ensuing heartache and misery, follow necessarily from their savage ways. Insult and cursing and misery, we stuck with such petty larceny. We all partition the rectories and call it destruction of the whole damn world. Kaboom! Well, that was fine. Bass. Daddy'll sing bass. It was 100,000 million years ago. Time ran slow. Nobody yet to show. Plate the slabs below. Let them go. They will start to grow. More years ensue and tears gnashing through. Oh, holy slabs come to view. Unchangingly true and eternally new. But when the slope appears in charge today, options at large show other ways. Give each a chance now, once quick to check, but don't get caught standing on deck. The slope presents a fork, it's not easy stopping short. Too far along to turn around. Perhaps a better course was headed ever north. Now there's a fitter force, enemy ground. It was 100,000 million years ago. Time ran slow, nobody yet to show. Place the slabs below, let them go. They will start to grow. More years ensue and tears gnashing through. Holy slabs come to view. Unchangingly true and eternally new. But when the slope appears in charge today, options at large show other ways. Give each a chance now, once quick to check, but don't get caught standing on deck. The slope presents a fork, it's not easy stopping short. Too far along to turn around. Perhaps the better course is headed ever north. Now there's a fitter force, enemy ground. It was 100,000 million years ago. That was pretty good. That was pretty good. I'm gonna play this and call it a stream. It's a very cloudy day in Los Angeles, and today we run out of time. Struggles past, troubles still to come. The day is nearly done. Will someone buy us some more time? Cloudy day in Los Angeles, cloudy day in and strangely forgiving to those who stay awake all night, and mostly voices play given. They'll try to sap your will to fight, but whether I'm supposed to be here or just be soon forgotten, noise is sort of based on what I see here and also on what I avoid. It's a very cloudy day in Los Angeles, and today we run out of time. Struggles past, troubles still to come. The day is nearly done. Will someone buy us some more time? Cloudy day in Los Angeles, cloudy day in LA. I'm no sort of evangelist, but I have something to say, something to say. That was good. That was a good take on that. Alright, friends, thanks again very much for those of you who stuck around. I appreciate it. You are the gentle men and women of the world. When were these songs composed? Over the course of many years. So yeah, thanks again for being here. I guess I'm going to try to get a little shut-eye. Or perhaps if I still have open eye syndrome, I'll do something else. I don't know. Maybe I'll cure cancer. Been waiting a while for me to get around to that. Have a good night, and don't forget to rock and or roll.